everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Wow. It's been a while since I've been on here and I missed you guys. I missed you guys. I the last time I was on here was let me see. It was in January. My last guest was Mario Brown, who was amazing. It was an amazing, amazing show. And I just been busy. I have been busy behind the scenes, doing things, growing PWNC. So that's why you haven't seen me in a while. But, I could not let Women History Month pass without having one, a fabulous guest on, and two, just ending out the month. So as you see there, if you want to ask any questions, go to our Unapologetically Me page on Facebook and you can ask questions there, or you can go to our YouTube channel, which is the Philadelphia Women's Network Connection. I missed you guys. I miss talking to you. I miss seeing you and all that stuff. Like I said, we've been busy growing PWNC. We've been busy growing the foundation. A lot of good things going on. My international podcast, we have picked up a couple more countries. The last time I looked, we picked up New Zealand and we picked up Germany. So I am very excited. If any international audience is coming in today, welcome, welcome, welcome. So like I said, and we have our Women's History Month Wealth and Wellness Lunch and Learn this Saturday. Thank you for all of those who have supported us and brought tickets. We are completely sold out. I did the menu last night. Great menu. We have great speakers. We're just going to go and have a great time. So anyway, we're getting ready to get started into our show here. Good afternoon, Paul. Thank you, and welcome, welcome. So I have a treat for you guys today. We have a young lady by the name of Rose Brown. Rose Brown is considered the accountant therapist. She is the CEO of Brown's Fulfillment Consulting and Accounting Firm. She specializes in taxation, bookkeeping, payroll, and business formation. So those that are looking to form your business, get into business, you definitely want to be in this show today. Her firm provides these services in a manner that is tailored and detailed to her clients' needs. Rose uses her platform to educate her clients by simplifying and ensuring understandability throughout each encounter while remaining compliant and saving money. So, guys, this year is right now, this month, we're in tax season now. So, she's busy and I appreciate her. So everyone, help me welcome Rose into the studio today. Hi, Rose.
Hi, Felicia. Thank you so much for having me today.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was telling people that you are the accountant therapist. I love that. And also, Rose is going to tell you a little bit about her show that she does on Tuesdays called Tuesdays Tax Tips. So, Rose, tell us a little bit about, first of all, how did you get that name, the accountant therapist? Because I love that.
For sure. So it was right before I ultimately first started my practice, right? It's just a way that I worked with clients, not just being able to do the work, but listen to them, ensure that I understand what they're saying. So it's like going to a therapy session, right? I sit down, we talk, you tell me what's going on, I reflect back to you, right? Then we put a plan in motion and we execute it together because I don't just leave you out there. But that's pretty much how it goes, right? Even though, yes, I'm a tax professional, I'm a tax preparer, I don't just prepare the taxes. Almost anyone can do that, right? It's the accountant therapist in me that allows me to work as thorough as I do with each client, right? Especially if you have a business, whether you're an individual, regardless of what it is.
Wow. Wow. I'm telling you, that's awesome. And now is a very busy time for you
Oh
because
my
this
God.
is tax season. People are trying to get their taxes in, they're trying to get things done. What I love, first of all, is that you are a woman of color and you have your own consulting and accounting firm down here in Center City, Philadelphia. So, where's your office at?
Yes, we are in Market Street, so 1635 Market Street. The good news is we've actually done pretty well. I really held my head to the ground and worked very hard to build up my firm to the point where we were able to expand to the Atlanta, Georgia area. So
Wow.
yes, we're in Philly. Yes, so we have been doing quite a bit. It's a lot of work, trust me. But yes, we are at 1635 Market Street.
Good for you. Well, you know what? Anything worth having is hard working for, but there are not too many women of color in your field, which is a shame because I think anything dealing with finances, accounting, or anything like that is very important, especially nowadays. We had the COVID that hit 2 years ago. We have more people looking to leave their corporate jobs to start their own business. So there are certain things that they have to do. So if I was coming to you as a client,
Mhm.
okay, and I'm interested in maybe starting a business, where would we start? And take me a little bit through the steps that you would, how you would work with me.
For sure. Okay, so usually we have to talk because if I don't hear you, nothing is making sense. And once I hear you, I want to reflect back. So first and first, I need to know what it is that you want to do, the industry you're going in, what's your goals, right? We can't just create a business just like that because creating a business means we need to know where you want to be in 2 years. In 5 years, this is going to determine what entity we form because if a person is an LLC but they want to pay themselves, that's just not going to work as much as they would want it to. Nor for tax planning strategy purposes would it make sense. Right. So it all starts with a conversation. Everything starts with a conversation. And then I have to make sure that I've heard you correctly. And once we're at that place, we're on the same page, then it's uphill from there.
You know what? I love you because I love what you said. I have to hear you because a lot of people get, especially I tend to find, especially when you're going to a consultant or an accountant firm, anything dealing with finances, a lot of people will hear what you say, but they have this perception of what they want for you. It's like going to the ice cream shop and saying, I want 2 scoops of chocolate. They hear you, but they give you 2 scoops of vanilla. And it's like, but that's not what I asked for, you know? So I like that. And it's important because you are dealing with finances and you're dealing with accountants. And of course, you don't want to set anyone up where later down the line that there's going to be problems for them. So, I like that. How long have you been in business, Rose?
All right, so we are coming up on our third year. This
Congratulations.
May will make 3 years. So um, it hasn't been that long for a lot of people, but it has been to the point where it's a lot of hard work. The clientele has built up just by itself without us, doing as much extra work as other folks might do just because of the service that we provide. Some people will say, well, how do you do this all by yourself? Well, I don't do it all by myself. I have a team. I just sit out front, but at the same time, the service that we provide is detailed. I go through every return, every situation with every client to make sure that we are all on the same page. And just like doing my Tax It Tuesday live videos, I make sure that folks have an opportunity to ask me questions because you cannot walk away misunderstood or confused. No, no, no. We need to clear the air, make sure that you understand what your obligations are from a tax and accounting perspective. So at the end of the day, everything is always broken down.
Right, right. I like that. So now you do the consulting as well as the accounting. So tell me a little bit, or tell our audience a little bit, the difference between the two, or how are they marriage and work hand in hand?
Yeah, so the consultant is more so let's talk and gauge where you are. From leaving the consultant, then we go into coaching mode, right? Depending on what you've said will determine where we need to go from here. Now that works hand in hand with taxes and also pretty much from a 360 perspective of how I provide the services. So I use the 4 pillars that you mentioned: taxation, bookkeeping, payroll, and business formation. All 4 of these play a role. They impact each other pretty much. So your entity will determine how you pay yourself, what type of tax return you file, those sorts of things. So if one of these is out of whack, it's going to impact the rest. So that consultation is just the start of where we will be going from here.
And I like that you say that because you start with a consultation and you build a relationship. Before you and I came on, we were talking about building relationships. We were talking about giving back to the community. We were talking about how important, because I told you, and for those that have been following PGW, Philadelphia Women's Network Connection journey, that it'll be what, 3 years in May, I believe. And you've seen how we have grown, but we have grown because of the relationships that we have formed. That has taken us further than anything else. And when you get your clients, it's a marriage because you're in it for the long haul. You're not in it just to do it one time, but you're in it for the long haul. And I like that. And I'm sure that they appreciate that too. So you deal with families, individuals, and businesses, correct?
Most certainly.
Wow. So that's a lot that you deal with. And you said you have a team. And you didn't you just recently branch out to another state? Where's the other state?
Yes, we are in Atlanta, Georgia, in the Midtown area. So yes, I do have my team. We are growing, and actually, I would share with anyone, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a woman in business, it's even tougher sometimes.
Yeah.
But don't try to necessarily go at it alone. Yes, it all starts with you, with how you want to build and things like that. But in order to sustain the things that you're trying to build and last and, wealth and all those sorts of things, you need to pull together a proper solid team. And it's not easy. It's no walk in the park trying to get people who support you, believe in your vision, your passion, and those sorts of things. So it's not easy, but it is necessary.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that. That is so true. That's the hardest part. First of all, you have the vision. Second of all, executing the vision. And then third, getting people to see the vision. Because I always say people are not going to treat your business the way that you treat your business. Your business is your baby. They're
Exactly.
not going to see that vision because the vision wasn't given to them, it was given to you. You see where you want to be. You see it. I always say throw it out in the universe, pray on it, be positive about it and speak it. Words have power. Words are very powerful. That's why you have to be careful what you say because once it comes out of your mouth, you can't take it back. So you have to be careful, especially when you're talking over your life and what it is that you're doing. Words are powerful. So, you're a millennial. Are you in the millennial stage or Gen X or Gen Z?
No, no, no. I think I am in the millennium, actually.
Well, you know what? I love it because you millennials and Gen X and Gen Zs and all the other alphabets, you guys are out there killing it. I mean, you're killing it. And it warms my heart to see a young woman like you because I know how hard it can be being a woman of color myself. But not only that, you're in a field that is not an easy field. It's not an easy field. And to build up where you are now and to have your office where you are, I'm very impressed because I'm not too far from you. So I know exactly where you are. So to have your office in the middle of Center City and building up your clients, I think that's awesome. So kudos to you. Absolutely kudos to you. So now you also do you have started something on Tuesdays here on Facebook. So I'm going to
Mhm.
let you talk about that a little bit. Tell us about that.
For sure. So every Tuesday at 7 p.m., I do a new Tax Tip Tuesday live video on Facebook. I've been doing this for just about 3 years.
Wow.
And I decided to do this because I realized that there was a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of uninformed individuals, and especially, yes, I am young, so I can relate to that market. And there's a lot of us out there that are young and just don't know. They just, go out, get a job, and just know that this is what happens. So
Right.
my goal is to share information with the general public in a way that is broken down enough for them to comprehend it. And I always encourage, initial free consultation because not a lot of these information are necessarily free or easily understood based on where you find it from. So the idea is to make sure that the information that's being put out there is correct, it's accurate, and of course, with the times, this particular tax season, I have to change up a lot of different content because of the tax code changes that happened in 2021. The
Right.
pandemic really hit a lot of things into place. So I had to get on top of that. And I it's much joy for me. I enjoy educating, I enjoy sharing the information with folks.
Yeah, I know. I know you love what you do because every time you talk about it, I mean, you just light up. And that's great that you love what you do because even though it's hard work, it doesn't seem like it's work because it's something that you love. So, Rose, what made you get into the accounting and finances and different things like that? What made you get into that?
Okay, so I actually grew up in Jamaica. I grew up with nothing pretty much, right? Um, But at about the age of 8, I had a grand aunt who came into my life, and I like to think of it as her rescuing me. And
Mm.
at that point, I realized, no, though she wasn't an accountant, she gave me a different perspective on life. So from that moment, I realized that I wanted to help people save money. I wanted to do something with numbers, of course, math and money. I was like, well, I can't be a cashier. I want more, right? So I had to build on that. And that's where I came to the place where I wanted to be an accountant. And as I got older, it wasn't easy because, as you mentioned, as a female and a female of color, it's not necessarily easy for us to rise as much as our counterpart part would,
Mhm.
right? So, for example, the other last year, I went to a tax conference. I go to these very often so I can stay on top of everything. This white elderly gentleman came over and he tapped me on the shoulder and he said, I almost told you that you were in the wrong place. I was like, what do you
What?
mean? Exactly. He's like, well, you're so young. Mind you, yes, I was young, probably the youngest person there, but I was also probably the only person of color there,
Mhm.
both men and women, right?
Mhm.
So that kind of woke me up a little bit to say, oh, yes, it won't be a walk in the park, but folks like this will always see you for the work that you're doing, and
Right.
don't pay them no mind. You came
Right.
into this room for a reason.
Right, exactly. And if you're good at what you are, you're good at what you are. I mean, I remember when I was in the medical field, wow, it'll be in August, it'll be 5 years that I fired my corporate job. But I remember when I was in the medical field, I started in radiology and went back to school for nursing. I remember there were places that I would go into when I was doing agency where no one looked like me. No one looked like me. And I had to go in there and like prove myself. First, I had to go in there and hit the ground running. So I was secure in what I was doing and what I did. And that's how I got the respect because they saw, oh, she came in here, she knows her stuff. And that's one thing that people cannot take from you. I don't care if you're male, female, black, white, gay, straight, it doesn't matter. If you have the knowledge, people cannot take that from you. They have to pay you for what's in your head because nothing is free. Nothing is free. We were talking about that before we came on about giving people the opportunities but also not being taken advantage of. It's one thing to inbox you and say, hey Rose, I have a question about taxes, or things like that. That's okay. But to continuously do it, at some point you're going to have to pay me for my services, because at one point I pay and I continue to pay just like you do to learn your craft. So in order to pick my brain or learn what I'm doing, that you're going to have to pay as well. So, when you're forming businesses, of course, do you listen to what the person says as far as, well, I want to form a LLC versus a sole proprietor? Or do you say to them, I think you would benefit best if you did it this way?
Okay. So that's a good one. Actually, in our business formation package, we just embedded a new segment in it, right? What that segment reflects is all business entities in comparison. So it's a chart. We set up a 1 hour consultation and we go over it. A lot of folks come into these meetings, oh, I want to be an LLC. I already know I want to be a corporation, but they do not understand what that means.
Right.
They do not understand how it's taxed. They do not understand how they pay themselves. There's just so many unknowns. They just know, oh, I want a liability coverage. It's just an LLC. That's all I need.
Mhm.
So we sit down with the client and we go over each particular entity, go over the different characteristics. But we also, at the same time, before we even do that, I listen to what they have to say about what it is that they want.
Right.
So when it comes down to the liability protection, how they want the net activities of the business to flow, the tax aspect of it, do you want a flat 21% for a C corporation, or do you want a flow through entity? So it all starts with, yes, I'm listening to what you're saying, but I'm going to provide you with the information that you need to make a strategic decision. And of course, I'll put my professional advice in there because that's needed. That's to help them to, push forward to the mark. But at the same time, what are your goals? Your goals need to be in alignment with the entity that you're going to want to operate under.
You know what? And I like that because a lot of times I remember when I start, well, I've had businesses, oh God, all my life. It seemed like, side businesses, but this is the first time that I went out on a leap of faith and I decided to do full-time entrepreneurship. And I remember a lot of times that I didn't know that I had to set up a business to get maybe the tax breaks or to get, some of the advantages of having a small business. One thing that woke a lot of people up, I think, is when COVID hit and all these businesses that were not set up correctly, that were getting money under the table, that the
Mhm.
government didn't even recognize. They could not take advantage of all this free money that the government was giving out. Trust me, I made sure we got what we were supposed to get, but it's so heartbreaking. And, our PWNC Foundation, our nonprofit, we have a program in place called the PWNC Transition Program. And one of the things in our transition program is helping women that are looking to leave their corporate jobs, going into full time entrepreneurship, set up their business properly. Whether it is that they have, the foundation. Okay, first of all, a business banking account, an EIN number, how to set up the corporation properly. Now, let us know how important it is to have a business banking account versus having your personal account as your business account.
Oh my goodness. Whew. All right. So this is the great portion of bookkeeping. When you operate from your personal account with business activities, or you operate from your business account with personal activities, you begin to commingle funds. When you begin to commingle, that puts you in a position of not knowing exactly what a particular transaction was for. And when you don't know, it's your word against an auditor's word. And oftentimes it's not going to pan out to be the same within your favor. So you want to make sure that you're not commingling funds, because in that case, you're robbing yourself of tax deductions. And if you're doing that, that means you're essentially paying taxes twice, because you already paid taxes on the money that you used to purchase whatever it is that you did. Now you can't find the receipt, or you commingled, so now you don't have proof of that. Hence, you have to pay taxes on that again.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Because I cannot tell you how much money went back. Because I'm on one of these boards where dealing with small businesses and different things like that. And the NSBA, which is the National Small Business Association. So it's national, and they meet in Washington to vote on some of these some of these rules and some of these things that go towards small businesses. I cannot tell you how many people, first of all, they didn't have an EIN number. They didn't have a bank account. They thought that the SBA were going to deposit money into their personal account. Now we know what a big mess that was in the beginning with this rescue money when things first went for COVID, the SBA giving out all this money to all these businesses that were not set up properly. And then when they did find out what was going on and you almost had to do everything and send every paperwork in it, except for your firstborn, before you could get anything from them. But,
Mhm.
it's a shame. And I was so heartbroken to find out, especially because I do have a women's organization, how many women did not have their business set up properly. And they couldn't get the PPP, and they couldn't get the grants. I mean, if you were in, they had it set up that you could get a $10,000 grant if you were in a underserved community. You didn't even have to live there. If your office was there, you could get that money. So it was just so heartbreaking to even hear and experience that. So what do you have coming up? Do you have anything coming up? Any seminars, any webinars? I know you have your event that's coming up tonight that you do every Tuesday,
Mhm.
but let us know if you have anything that's coming up.
Well, I don't want to say too much, but Felicia
Okay.
and I was just talking about um, potential, say, a blog or a YouTube channel,
Yes.
because I know a lot of folks have encouraged me to do as such because of the content that I put out there, and they know that it's coming from a reliable source with much broken down added parts to it. So I think the next step for me is going forth with that YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Um, I do have my other nonprofit activities. So it's a lot that needs to kind of come together essentially. But right now, with us just expanding, we are putting a lot of focus on building up our Atlanta area to look at the next expansion opportunity.
You know what? I love it. I love to hear that. I love to hear that. You know, we were talking, if you're not growing, then what are you doing? If you have a business and you're not growing, what are you doing? It is not a business. Look at it then as a hobby. Also, like Rose said, you know, she's pretty much like me, and I think it has to do with that island culture or whatever. But I hate to talk about things before it happens. You know, I hate to
Mhm.
put it out there, but I just wanted to let you guys know that Rose and I have been talking about doing something collaboratively. So we're both kind of excited about that. We're not going to tell you what it is. When the time is right, we will announce it. Everyone will know about it. But you know, I'm looking very forward to working with Rose in the future. You know, in our organization and different things like that. So you know, it's just excitement. I'm all about collaboration. I'm all about you know, just bringing people forward. That's what I'm here to do. That's, you know, I'm here to serve. I'm here to serve you. I'm here to serve my community. You know, I'm available. I'm accessible, and you know, you are too. So, Rose, tell us again where your office is located. Meanwhile, I'm going to put your website up there for people to see.
Yes, absolutely. So we are located at 1635 Market Street, Philadelphia. So right there in Center City. So if you do need to come in person, you need to do something virtual, we are available, especially with tax season right now. We have extended hours. So if you're someone who, hey, I don't get off work until 6 o'clock and things like that, no problem. We're pretty flexible to accommodate certain hours. Just don't let it be 10 o'clock. I go to bed early sometimes, okay?
No, no, Rose, you got to have boundaries. You have to have
During
boundaries.
tax season, I allow that because of people's schedule. But after tax season, we're strict with that 5 p.m. Bye.
Okay, okay. And do you do weekends too, or is it just Monday through Friday?
Only during tax season we do weekends until 2 p.m. But after tax season, we're back to our regular hours.
Okay. And they have to call you to make an appointment, call your office, or you can go through your website.
Yeah, right. Actually, I would encourage that they go directly through the website so that they have the ability to choose whatever option that they want because different days are available, times, and instead of going back and forth, just go right ahead on the website.
And that's the easiest way. Yeah, yeah, I don't blame you. Well, Rose, I'm telling you, that half an hour goes by so
No.
quickly. I know it goes by so quickly. And you have been giving us some amazing information today. I mean, you haven't even touched the surface. So, like Rose said, everyone, she does have her is it tax tip Tuesdays or Tuesday tax tips?
Tax It Tuesdays.
Oh, so I did get it right. Okay, okay. So Rose has her tax tip Tuesdays that are on every Tuesday. I think you come on in the evening at 7 p.m.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and 7 p.m. is a great time because people they fed the children hopefully by then, they're from work, they can sit down and relax, and it's free information. And let me tell you, Rose gives some great information. I put in my group, I let them know when Rose is talking about her tips for taxes and everything. I put that in my group so my ladies know, you know, and she gives a lot of great information that if you had to go to someone for, you would have to pay them, and it is great information. So we appreciate that. We appreciate you. And I wish you nothing but the best moving forward. I know this is a busy season for you, but hopefully, in between all of that that you're doing, that you remember the self care and you take care of yourself because you can't pour into others if you're empty.
Hmm.
You want to pour from the overflow. That's where you want to pour for. But you've been a great guest. And thank you again, Rose. So hold on for a second. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. And I'll come back to you in a moment. Okay, everyone, you heard some great information today from Rose. I always have great guests on my show. Even though you guys haven't seen me in a while, like I said, I haven't gone anywhere. The show hasn't gone anywhere. We're still here. I'm just not as much in the public as you have seen me because, like I said, there's a lot of things going on for our foundation as well as our for-profit. So I just been busy behind the scenes growing the community to offer more services and things to you. So for those of you that continue to support PWNC, thank you. For those of you who do not know about PWNC, you can go to phillywnc.org, learn more about our foundation, our mission, see what it is that we do in our organization. Even though we are a women's organization, our events are also geared towards men. We have 3 men that are going to be in our event Saturday. So men, we do not discriminate against you. So, if you're here to learn, then we are here to teach you. So on that note, like I said, we're going to be transitioning. We're going to be doing some teaching over on our YouTube channel starting probably next month. I was hoping that it was going to get done this month, but a lot of blessings came up that has to be addressed right now. So we'll probably be starting next month with our teaching. We'll be doing something once a week. We'll be bringing on a guest like Rose every now and then who will be bringing some great content and information to you. So on that note, like I said, I missed you guys. Stay tuned. We have some great things happening, some great things. Don't forget, Rose is tonight at 7 p.m. That's Rose Brown. You can find her on Facebook. She'll be giving you some more tax information. So everyone, stay safe, all that good stuff. Have a great Tuesday, rest of the week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.